Welcome back to Born of Unsilenced Voices. This is a space for truth spoken without fear, without apology, and without permission. This is not entertainment. This is testimony. I hope everyone has been enjoying their week and the weather is to your liking. Now take a moment to like and subscribe because I want to hear the real you. With that said, let's step into the truth. Today, I have decided to slow things down and go forward in time. I'm going to be speaking to my grandchildren that I do not have as yet, but I hope to one day meet. I want you to understand that you come from a people who not only know how to work hard, but to carry a spirit that would not and will not die. We are a resilient people. We use music and laughter to feed our inner fire. Every time you feel that you are not achieving a certain goal, walk away from it, come back, and try it again. You do not give up because that is not in you. That is not in the three children that I had. So it is not in you. You are children that are loved in abundance. You are brilliant. You are not what people speak over you. You are what you tell yourself every day that you look in that mirror. So you better speak with uplifting words day in and day out. There is something I do not want any of you all to ever forget. Your gifts, your talents that have been bestowed upon you, you can do nothing on your own. Everything that you have been given came from the divine himself, and you must honor who continues to feed you, clothe you with your daily provisions of breath. Never get too puffed up in your head and think that you are better than anyone. You may be great. You do not walk with haughtiness, aggression, or devaluation in your spirit. Because if you can look at your fellow and put them down, you have already done that to yourself. So every word you speak, everything that you do is to uplift. So I pray that you are filled with wisdom, discernment, knowledge, patience, and understanding. Understand yourself to be able to understand others. Be patient with yourself so that you can learn to be patient with others. Ask daily for clarity. Because you are going to face things that do not make sense and may even shock you. But you do not falter, my child. You do not falter. You keep going. I'm going to tell you some things about your parents. These nicknames that I use for my children, if you go up to one of them and say this nickname to them and they don't allow you to call them that, that's going to be between you and them. So whatever happened to you is not my business. That is yours. You need to ask before you just proceed. Okay, let's go. This young one now, I called her Lilly Lips because her lips were like a reddish pink. They were real vibrant. And she would always poke them out, when she would talk. She's a nut. All three of my children, they are jokesters. Get them together, oh, it's gonna be a time. Okay. Now, Lilly Lips, she was a child. She was very unique. When I gave birth to her, I know that I was going through a rough time during my pregnancy, but when they say you transfer things onto your children, be careful, be careful, be careful, because I was angry. So my child came out looking angry. So when I saw her, I said, that ain't mine. That ain't mine. Shh, no, why she look like that? But Lily is a blessing. She drove me crazy. The girl drove me crazy. Lord, okay, now. But I had wonderful times with her. When she was like 3 or 4 months, this child would flip herself in and out of the bassinet because the bassinet would be in front of the bed. And then sometime her body, I couldn't find her because she's hanging there between the bed and the bassinet, or she's laying on the floor. And she don't say nothing. She don't say nothing until she needs to eat. And I'm like, look, you can't do that. Yes, I would talk to my kids just like this. You can't do that. You need to say something. I need to know that you alive. You make some noise. Do something. I need to. Lord, no. But she was something. She's a little riot. And there were moments where she would hit on her brother. If people do not agree with Lily, you have a problem. She a little fire. She a little fire. And there were times if we would go out to restaurants or somewhere, wherever, if that girl don't want to talk to you, you could be trying to give her something, you trying to get into her visual. No, she will not look at you, she will not speak to you. A guy put a piece of candy down, she didn't even look at the candy until he left. Both of the girls are like that. They don't play no games. I don't know where they get it from, but you know what? Lily is a brilliant writer. I just wish she would hone it in more on truth instead of deceit. Because what that girl can do, she's something else. I'm proud of her. Even though we bump heads and we're not speaking right now, she's a great kid. Hard had a kid, but she's a great kid. I love her. She's made life worth living. I wish she wasn't hard on herself. It was easier said than done. But my 3 children walk with this it factor. But at times, 2 don't realize how much they have it. And it's like, if you would do less caring about what people have to say to you, like literally tune them out. Oh, girl. They say she didn't. Yes. I love her little silly self. I love her. She hard-headed, but I love her. Now let's move on to my son. My son is a junior. No, I don't like that middle name, but you know what? We gonna leave that be. Okay. His nickname, I call him Tinty. No, not Stinky Man that his family wanted to call him. That's not what I was saying. I called him Tinty because he was a real small, little fragile old man. A little big-headed man, but he was a small baby, real tiny. His limbs were so fragile. And I didn't want to hurt him. You know, he had already been through so much. Maybe your father will tell you one day that he had MRSA. That was the toughest time of my life, having to treat that boy with MRSA. Oh my gosh. That was not fun. That was not fun at all. And the fact that I felt like I was hurting him. I'm gonna move on. This was a young boy who liked to eat and loved to smile. He was very happy baby. Was I happy in my pregnancy? Yes, I was. Kind of a mix of happy and miserable at the same time. Yeah, so he got that. Tinty is a people person, and I love him for that. You know, he can make friends anywhere. Doesn't matter. He'll talk to anybody. And that boy is a jokester. That one right there. Sometimes he can push your buttons and it's like, look at here, boy. Look here. That's enough. You know, but I love him. That boy would always have his mouth open for some food anywhere. Now, he was little, maybe about 1, 2, and I would find a trail from the refrigerator to the bed. Little this, little that. And I'm like, what is this? What is going on in my house? What is this? But one thing I never did, I never stopped him. Because I stopped him from eating that garbage because I was like, look here, we ain't gonna have that. That you ain't gonna have. But him in the fridge, all I said was one thing. Look, do not lock yourself in that fridge. I said, boy, do you understand me? Mm-hmm. And we had a problem. I said, okay, I ain't gonna stop you. Go ahead and eat. Because he needed it. He needed it back then. Yes, he needed it. So eat. Your father likes to play sports. He's very competitive. I also have that competitive spirit in me as well. So his father has that. Tinty's father has that as well. He's very competitive. But when it comes to certain games, I mean, like, I don't care if you my kid. I don't see you as my kid. I am playing. Let's get into this game. But no, he's so silly, and don't let him fool you. That boy has a heart. He has a big heart. But there are things that made him turn cold, and I saw sides of him that I did not want to see. And I didn't think that I would see them. I really hope one day you and your parents have a not everybody has that. Not everybody gets that. So I want your parents to welcome you in. Don't be ashamed of what you did, who you are, let that down. Let that down. Let your children know who you are. They need to know who you are so that they can be who they are. And that's how you mold and you build and you grow together. But that boy, he's very brilliant as well. Brilliant little boy. Well, he ain't no little boy. He a tall boy who thinks that, I'm this little short little nothing to him because he's 6 foot something. No, I don't like that. I don't like when children do that. Don't do that to me. I am your mama still. I am no shrimp, okay? Not to say that little people got, don't do that to me. Don't do that. Now, moving on to the oldest. I spent more time with her. So there are times that my younger children feel that she's more special to me. There are different bonds that I have with my children. There are times where, no, I don't want to be with the older one. I want to be with one of the other ones. That's how it is. But you're going to have different bonds with your children. So if you feel in some type of way, wait till you have yours. You won't understand. But I don't look at my children and be like, you're less than, you're greater than. I ain't got time for that. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. Because in me parenting, I was parenting myself, learning right along with you all. And sometimes that's how life is. My oldest, she's another one who started life young. She started talking about 3 months. Small words, but yeah, she was talking. And people had a problem. Her nickname is Chubbs. Why? Because she was a chubby baby. Like Goldilocks. That's the right porridge right there. I need that size. Chubbs was a child that I had to, as I was growing as a parent, she was growing along with me. And I was more harder on her than I was. And she'll look at her siblings and be like, how come you let them get away with this? And then they'd be looking at her like, how come you? Yeah, it's a lie. But I was more of a warden on her because it's not an excuse. My parent didn't let me be a parent. It was like my daughter is a sibling to me. And anything I did, it was a problem with her. I had to literally have my own apartment. And even at that certain times, it's like, I'm still not their parent. I'm not parenting my children. I'm constantly being parented by mine. Because she couldn't let those ropes go. And it's like, I had to literally almost curse the woman out. And it has to get to that point. You have to sometimes leave where you come from to be who you have to be for you. I couldn't show emotions how I needed to my oldest. And it bothered her, it affected her. And so I had to relearn how to do things. There were times my body is shifting, my mind is shifting. And I didn't know why at the time because I'm changing into somebody different. And the people around me, they're not understanding that. And it's not for them to understand I have to do this. But I had to get back into a relationship. I had to get into a relationship with my older daughter. So at times my younger ones are not going to understand a lot of things, but Chubbs, she was a breath of fresh air. And I wish at times I would have had her sooner. It's wrong to say it, but it's like, she's also a friend. She's my daughter, she's my friend. But I'm that disciplinarian, But there are things, qualities I see in her, and even my other one, that is like, I wish I could have used my voice, like how she didn't in the beginning, because I saw it. It's like, this is so, when I tell you I would study my children, I can see who they were going to become way before they became. But I would study my children because I saw them speaking without them speaking, if you know what I'm talking about. A lot of times when it comes to Chubbs, her face will say a whole lot before it comes out of her mouth. And I would watch her, and I could see she's trying to get into her own. And she's just finding the right moments to step out. And people are trying to put her down. She didn't have that voice. And me having the background of one of Jehovah's Witnesses, it's like I'm trying to follow Bible principles, be obedient to my own mother while my mother's putting me down, and I'm trying to uplift my daughter, and I'm being told I'm doing something wrong. And so I had a constant battle in my head, in my heart. Do I listen to this woman? Or do I do what I need to do because I see that my kid is struggling? The things that you are saying to my children are making them struggle. And it's like I had to, it was hard. And so that's why I let my children speak from the heart. Even when at times it was hard for me to hear it, I needed to sit in it and hear it and receive it. Because it's not right for me to burden. It's not right for any parent or any person to burden yours with what you are dealing with. You have to deal with that, not them. So I had to do a whole lot of relearning myself, relearning being a parent, relearning them. I wish my bond with my other children were stronger, but nor do I have time to deal with foolery from other people putting their nose where it don't belong, and you want to be upset about old things that happened in the past. You don't bring it onto your children. You let that stuff go. It's daytime now. It's not your time. It's daytime. But we're going to leave that where it is and put a pin in it. Me allowing my children to be themselves, unique, and to watch them try to walk into it. I'm proud of my children and I love them deeply, and I want to see them grow into the adults they are meant to be. But I am not a parent who wants to hinder, because I didn't want to be hindered. And holding me back was going to hold back my children from progressing into who they needed to be. So it was best free. If anybody has seen a bird in a cage, yeah, they have wings. But when you open that cage, if that bird does not choose to fly when it is innately supposed to, what have you done? What have you actually done to that person? You clipped them. You stifled them. And I cannot be the parent to do that. I cannot make them think how I want them to think. I can't. I will not do it. Be you. So to my grandchildren, be you. Know you. Want to understand